Greetings, 100 scholars. I just wanted to give you a little video verbal supplement to the written instructions for blogging. In particular, I want to focus on blogifying and the key techniques for doing that. So I'm looking at a post from last year that I think is a good example of some strengths and weaknesses that I encounter in blogifying. So the first thing we want to do when we blogify is to find a cool image. You can use more than one image, but one tends to look best. And if we look at the choice this writer's made here, that seems kind of bland to me. She's writing about mindfulness. She gets the idea from Ken Bain's book, but the picture is simply from Ken Bain's book. And I think you could do a lot better if you explored and did a little web research. And in particular, Google gives you the option to search for images related to the different terms that you explore. So I just did a search for mindfulness. So instead of looking for a Bain book image, why not go with the idea that I'm writing about mindfulness? And if I click on images, all sorts of interesting stuff comes up. This looks a lot more interesting to me than the Bain cover, as does this one and this one. So what I would want to do is download one of these images to my computer, save the image as on my computer, and later upload it into my blog post to make it more interesting. Now, of course, I'm going to document where I got it from and my works cited, but you can have a lot of fun looking for more interesting images. So my first point about this example is I think the images could have been stronger. Let's look at the links now, which is the second element of blogification. The links are really important. This link is an interesting one, although I would point out that she should have capitalized the title of the book. But what I liked about this link is it actually took us to an article reviewing and summarizing Bain's text. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. For someone who hasn't read Bain's text, and remember that's our audience, a little review summary of the book as a whole is a cool resource. So this person went beyond the obvious. The obvious move would have gone to put a link up to the book on Amazon.com maybe, or to find a website about the book. But to actually go to a review summary of the book, that's a cool idea. Another really good move in terms of a link that suggests that this person did some thoughtful research is this link to Ellen Langer. So when the blog author mentions Ellen Langer, she takes us to an article in Harvard Magazine that she found about mindfulness. And again, I think that shows creativity and research, and I think that connects your reader to a potentially really cool resource. So I'm very impressed by the links here. Let's take a quick look at the mindlessness and mindfulness links. One takes us to an article by Ellen Langer about mindlessness. And I think that's really cool. That's a really, really interesting link. Let me make that a little bigger so you can see that. So she found an Ellen Langer article and took us to it. I think that's a really cool technique. And again, shows some really thoughtful research. Another example of an interesting link is the one for mindfulness, which takes us to a New York Times article. So one of the things I really admire about this scholar's use of links in her piece is how she took us to different kinds of text. One text was a book review, another text was a website about a scholar, another text was a scholarly article, another text is from the New York Times. So I think there's a really cool mix of links and resources here. So again, the first strategy in terms of blogifying a post is to find a good image, and this post I think could have been more creative and found an image better related to mindfulness. But in terms of the second step of blogification, which is finding cool, thoughtful, well-researched links, this was a very strong piece, taking us to a variety of different texts that really would give someone who's interested in this a lot to work with. And finally, the last element of blogifying to think about are embedding videos. And at first, this writer took a pretty standard approach. Since she writes about the Devil Wears Prada, she throws in a Devil Wears Prada trailer. And that's a safe, conventional approach, but much of what's in that trailer isn't actually going to connect to her discussion about mindfulness. So the second video she embeds is actually a lot better, because in that one we get a talk about mindfulness, and I thought that was really cool. And there's a lot of great stuff about mindfulness out there, not just in YouTube, but in TED Talks. And I do want to remind you, as far as exploring videos, YouTube is great, but TED Talks are even better. And if you can find a TED Talk related to your topic, you'll find that it's a high quality embed, that it's good because it's easy for people to activate the oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. Activate the translator so people can see the words and language at the same time. Captions, sorry, activate the captions. So YouTube's great, but TED Talks is maybe even a stronger place to start. So I hope this short video helped you think about how to energize your post using stronger images, more thoughtful research links, and some creative embedded videos. Thanks a lot. I hope to see you out in the blog, and feel free to run anything you're thinking about trying by me. If you want to run by a link, or run by an image, or run by an embedded video and see what I think. It's a great thing to email, text, or call about. Hope to hear from you soon. Hope you're having fun with this project. Bye.